I know I've shared my journey before, but I just wanted to actually, um, really focus on the fact that after every event is when I made, big decisions in my career here. So G15 is my very first uh, convention, right? And a month after that, I got licensed. In 2016, right after G16, 1 month later, I became an MD. L19 is when I got promoted to senior marketing director. And then in G22 is when I got my 100K ring. And then after last year's G23, that's when I really made a decision to work on our green jacket, come into the office at 8 a.m., brought my people here to the 8 a.m., work on our trainer guidebook, and we really ended the year with a green jacket. So in terms of our attendance in our team in the events, the first 2 years, it was really just me, right? I knew nothing about bringing the people to the event, right? But slowly over the course of time, I slowly understood why it's important to come to the event and bring as many people as you can. So in G17 there was 6. I added one more in San Jose, added a couple more in the Dallas convention in G19. Of course, G20 and 21 were virtual, so I'm not counting those because I know we probably invited 300, 500 people. In L22, we had 9 people again. G22, I'm slowly going up, right? Hitting double digits now. Hit 15 in Fort Worth. And then last year in Houston, I sort of doubled that, got 26 people. And in G23, kind of went down, but I didn't stop, right? I really wanted to make sure we stick with double digit and really go back to, hitting more or getting more people. So in L24, just a few months ago in Savannah, we had 27 attendees. But I actually started it with investing, five tickets myself. And so I didn't have, they were all guests, like it's, on the name it's Stella Guest or my husband's name and guest. But towards the end of January, those people that we recruited in December and the earlier part of January, I know we were pushing for them to go to Savannah. And so really we had all 5 of the tickets, got we were able to bring 5 new people, and a couple of them confirmed literally 1 week before the convention, and then the other 3 about 2 weeks before the convention. So I know that those last minute people, you can really get those last minute people. And so far out of those 5, we have one that's just got his license recently, and so now we're working on his GX, right? So when the G24 tickets or registration came up, I know with the Titan X, right, we were talking about really being able to invest in our business, invest in our team. And I know that I wanted to double, right? I think the theme since GX came about was really doubling, right? And so I knew I wanted to double my L24 numbers. And so right now with G24, we have 56 registrations, but really 20 of them were from us, from me and my husband investing, right? We didn't have people specifically on it yet, but I knew people already. I kind of knew which people I was going to go to, right? But anyway, I invested, and so far, really, out of the 20, tickets that were open, we've already been able to fill 10. Okay. And we're working on the 10. And I know that we're going to get there. Why? Because our goal this month is to recruit at least 8 people, up to 12. And so I know we're going to need more than 10, right? Because we're not only going to recruit those individuals, but we're going to bring their spouses and their families with them, right? So, why do we push for these events? Why are we, really pushing for G24 registrations right now? Well, we know, right, that your income is directly proportional to how many people you bring to the events, right? I see that directly from our coach here in Oak Brook, Coach Victor. He shows us every single time there's a big event, like how his numbers went up from, when he became SMD all the way to now, and how he's doubling those numbers. And I know that he's such a successful person in this business, right? So we know that this is true, and I want to be there, right? Also, we tell people right now, you need to get away from the day-to-day grind to focus on your dreams, right? Like when we are at home, when we are in our home offices, sometimes we just tend to think of the normal everyday stuff like bills, our kids okay, our parents okay, laundry, home projects, things like that, right? But when you go to an event, you forget about that, and you see or you hear all these people speak, and all of a sudden it might not come on the first day or the second day, maybe the third day, something happens, magic happens, right? And that's what we want our team to experience, right? Because I know it happened to me in G15. I remember specifically two people that I heard speak. One of them was a millennial talking about how her father was part of the business. He passed away, and now she's doing the business for their family. And then the other one was Ate Liz from Canada. I heard her story, and it really made me move, right? So I know that this is something that we can provide the teammates that we bring, right? Suddenly we can bring them hope. And that's what I found. And I know that the people that I bring, that's why I'm pushing them. And I don't care whether they get mad at me or whether they tell me, oh my gosh, why are you pushing me so hard? I don't care, because I know if they end up going, I can provide them that hope, right? You need to surround yourself with positive people with the same goal, right? A lot of the times when we're at home, we are, a lot of people just suck the life out of us, to be honest, right? We hear all these people left and right having all these problems, but when you go to the event, it's just all positivity. And I mean, I can just imagine, back in MGM, right? That was my first event, was back in MGM, and I can just imagine again that feel of having positive people around you for 3 days, right? And we hear of social proof, right? The events lets us see many others doing the business and having success. Maybe we can relate to somebody, right, that have maybe the same background, same problems, same language as us, right? So if we see that and we hear that right in front of our eyes, it really gives us hope. Also, positive peer pressure. I love the awarding night. I love gala night, because I remember my very first gala night where I was just sitting down and clapping, never really having a chance to go on stage, right? But as you see people walk on stage, you want to be there. And, when you bring your teammates there, they will feel the same thing. They will want to achieve that for the next event, right? And so they will push hard after the event is done, right? So the key to here is to attend all the big events over and over again, and to never ever quit. And of course, to not come alone. So if you have teammates right now that are there, right, but they're there on their own, make sure that you talk to their spouse, their family member, maybe a downline, and make sure that they do not come there alone, right? And then lastly here, and this is very important, because I think, friendships are made at the events, because you're going to be with them for 3 days in a row, maybe even more days, right? And, I think I heard this from Victor, sometimes people will quit on the business, but they will never quit on friends, right? So if you create that kind of relationship amongst your team members, I think it's definitely worth it, worth the investment that you make, right? So, professionals do not accept excuses why people cannot attend the event. And if you hear those excuses, you just do the feel, felt, and found. So you say, I understand how you feel, right? And I felt the same way when I first started. And what I found was that if I was ever going to have success, I would have to stop giving myself excuses why I could not go, and instead find excuses why I had to be there. And if they say, well, I have money issues right now, or I can't take a day off, or my kids, there's no babysitter, then you as the SMD or the leader have to find a solution. I have a solution to help you. If they don't have money, like what Coach mentioned, right? Help me get a result. Get me an account, and I will help you get there. if you cannot buy a flight, maybe drive there if it's cheaper, right? Oh, I can't afford a hotel. That's okay. We have an Airbnb. We have a hotel. We sleep on the floor. Whatever it takes, right, to get you there. I can only take 2 days or 1 day. That's fine with me. Attend that 1 day. Whatever it is, find a solution and help them get to that solution, right? So invest in your business, invest in your G24. Yes, we see a lot of people now selling their tickets, but it's a month away. I mean, like I said, last launch, I found someone a week or 2 weeks before. Now I know we have a deadline, but we have still time. You are going to go out there later this afternoon and recruit someone, and you have to bring them to the event, whatever it takes. So for us, right, we invested 20 tickets, about 6,000, filled 10 so far, right? We invested in Airbnb and hotels to make sure that if we get to have 56 people, there will be room, whether it's in the bedroom, the living room, in the closet. Let me tell you, my husband and I slept in the closet at one point in time, just to make sure that our team members get to the event, right? And that's okay, because it will be worth it. It might be too expensive to go out to an event, and it may cost you, but it may cost you even more, like 30, 50, 100,000 in lost business if you do not go and get the energy to find your next superstar, which most of the time is you. So, that's all I have to share. I hope I see everybody at G24. Right now, I feel like these events level out the playing field. It's a slow start for me and my team. I have to admit that. But I know that's the reason why I got to push for G24, because it will level out the playing field. I can get back to the game by bringing people to G24. And we're not going to stop. I am not selling my tickets. I am going to fill that in. So that's it. Thank you.
Yeah.